What up, everybody? Welcome to another session of Thoughts Out Loud. This is session 46. I'm a little confused because it should be 47, but 46 got messed up somehow. It's real weird. I recorded the episode or recorded the session, uploaded it to my computer, pulled it over. I thought everything went over fine, but it freezes at like 75% through. And man, I'm glad I do start kind of screening Thoughts Out Loud. Switching from the webcam to the actual DSLR definitely adds a different aspect because I didn't have to like push it over and move it over to my computer instead of just recording it in QuickTime. I might go back to, for Thoughts Out Loud purposes, I might just go back to the webcam. I don't know. I gotta really think that through. As you can see, I got my lighting kind of, or my color figured out, right? Like it's not this washed out fluorescent light that's shining, or this washed out fluorescent color that's doing crazy stuff in my background. All that just goes back to just doing things. Like as you do things, you're like, oh God, I see. Just actually taking action. Even though I did an episode yesterday or session yesterday about how I'm upset about not taking action, I'm still taking these actions, and I'll get into that in a minute. But doing it, like actually doing stuff, lets you fine tweak it and slowly get things figured out, even if you're not doing exactly what you want to be doing. And this is just an example. Refrigerator's on. This is just an example of an issue that you figure out along the way when you're just actually in the process of just making things happen. That being said, yesterday I had a session, or the day before yesterday, depends on when you look at it, but I had a session, or I did a session about problems I'm having executing, right? Like about problems I'm having getting out of my own way, so to speak, being like self-destructive or counterproductive, and just not really helping my own cause, just through no fault of my own. And I actually got a little bit of a response with that session. Anthony came back with his TOL, no, not his TOL, his version of TOL, because I'm gonna start calling it the toll. I never realized Thoughts Out Loud means toll. Anyway, he does the third thing in the morning. His third thing in the morning was a response to yesterday's Thoughts Out Loud. And my boy X, who runs Exquisite Ink, I'm not sure if he shut Exquisite Ink down temporarily, but he's an entrepreneur in his own right. He got a woodworking thing that he's working on, just a lot of different things that he does. He came back through Kakao. He didn't actually put his on YouTube, but he had a few words, a few words of encouragement and words of wisdom to share as well. So they both, I greatly appreciate you guys responding. You both brought in great points. Anthony really came in and kind of restated or paraphrased what we were talking about, how your brain is one thing and your ambition is another thing. And he said the God spark and the meat suit, and that's kind of his rendition of it. And I think it's a great rendition. It tells you what Anthony is like altogether. Like he likes it. He wants to reduce it down to like the least common denominator. That's what it is. It's this and it's this. And meat suit. I couldn't think of a better way to put like what our body is. It's just like just this vessel that we're using. But like, he just basically went into like how our brain is really old, and it, like, even though we have advanced as civilization, that technology has taken us into this like next level of evolution, so to speak. We're still using this old hardware, so to speak. Like it's just your brain is just going to do what it's designed to do, and it's designed to protect you, and that's why you're facing a lot of things. Before I get to X, Anthony also had a few things to say about kind of just getting out of your comfort zone and just rewiring your thinking, and he had a lot of things to say that were still with theory, things that I understand, the concepts that I understand, and that I agree with, but I'm nothing really, and some, I guess he really had some, what's the word I'm looking for? Like camaraderie, like some compassion or some empathy for what I'm going through, and sharing the fact that he's going through the same thing. Because what it really comes down to is, and X touched on this also, after work, you're a little tired, you come home, you got to create, you have another job, you have something else that you want to do. There's a part of you that you want to fulfill, and you're just too tired to do it. Not even tired like in a physical sense, but in a mental sense. Like I read in, I forgot what book it was, maybe it's in The Miracle Morning, but I read that willpower is like gluten based or something like that, or it's like based on like it can be depleted by the end of the day, throughout the end of the day. Is it gluten? That sound right. Anyway, but like your willpower like depletes before the end of the day, and so or as the day goes on, and so by the time we get home after work, it's just like, man, I just want to escape from this reality, and that's when I jump into the games and or just watching YouTube. And I got tomorrow's session is going to be about YouTube, and just doing things that are counterproductive to what we want to do, counterproductive to creating. So unless of course you're one of those YouTubers whose YouTube content is based off YouTube, then you're probably just doing research anyway. But X really came with some actionable advice. Some of it that's like no brainer. That's what we do as entrepreneurs or as aspiring entrepreneurs from the jump. Like once you start realizing that your ideas are good, he said, go ahead and write that down or make a recording or make a video to yourself and come back to it. That happens, man. I mean, that's been happening for weeks on end. He also said one thing they recommend to introverts is really actionable advice. Talk to somebody that you don't know every day, and you slowly start getting over that introversion, right? Like you slowly start like just, I don't know, you start, it's like exercise, you know? Like you start to kind of, like you train your muscles to get bigger, you train your personality to be a little less introverted, or not even less introverted, just more comfortable with interactions that we as introverts don't really like. X said one more thing that I wanted to touch on too, but I forgot it. Probably should have wrote this down. But even with all their advice, I greatly appreciate it, and I really value you guys' feedback because it kind of led me to this. Because even as I was watching their videos, I was like, you're not really. I appreciate them. Again, I can't overstate that. Thanks for responding, but it's still not really the actionable advice I was looking for. I was looking for something like, you know, go through, if you have a list of ideas, go through them and just pick one and then just do it this weekend. Pick your least favorite one and then just do it this weekend with like the gear that you have or the setup that you have, or just do it unideally this weekend. Or go through and then just like, if you have a desire to reach out to people and that's what you want to do, then just schedule your first opening. You got lunchtime today. Schedule your opening at lunchtime to just do a reach out to somebody that you've been wanting to reach out to, and just do it. Don't let anything get in your way. And X kind of touched on that too, like make a plan and just do it. Don't want to get in your way. But I took a step further and say, hey, at lunch, my alarm's gonna go off. I'm gonna reach out to I forgot, Daniel Kim. That doesn't mean anything to you guys, but I'm gonna reach out to somebody to do something for Soul Weaver at lunchtime today, because that's the first opening I'm gonna have, maybe my break time. And that's what I was kind of looking for. And then as I started to realize it, or as I started to brainstorm about what I was looking for, I kind of knew it the whole time. Like I started to realize, like, man, you know what you need to do. Like you know what, even the steps or even the individual actions that you're looking for, we already know what to do with them. Just do them. And I mean, people look for a lot of different ways, a lot of different excuses, or a lot of different, Anthony touched on excuses as well. People look for a lot of different reasons why we come up with excuses. And the bottom line is it's fear. And you can twist it any other way, you can reclass it any other way. You're just scared. You might not be afraid. It might not be fear as in, oh, I'm really nervous to do this. No, be it fear of rejection of that person not reaching out to you, be it fear of, and I think this is where I come in, be in fear of the stuff you produce not being as good as what you thought it would be, or you as an individual, or you as your desire, not being really the material what you thought you were, having that dream, that entrepreneurship goal or that entrepreneurship aspiration completely shattered. That's what the fear is for me. Like to go and find out one day that I just don't have what it takes. I think that's what my fear is. And which is pretty crazy because I don't think that at all. Like I don't really think that at all. Like, man, I'm brilliant, man. Come on. I mean, I'm not full of myself, but it's like the idea of not sharing your ideas or what you got planned, that never occurs to me, or it doesn't occur to me anymore because they just keep coming to me. I've had so many great ideas that I'm like, I don't care about giving one away, or like putting one out there, or just like I don't know. I don't have this mentality that I have to protect my idea. The only reason I have that, if I do have that mentality, the only reason I have it is because I know I'm not going to take action on it that well, and there might be somebody out there that's going to take action on it more than I am, or just like actually be better at implementation. That's where my fair share of my ideas come in. But the fact that that's the $1 million idea I have, and somebody's gonna steal it and take off with it and go and run with it, that's not even, because I know another one will come. So I don't know what my problem is really. I just need to go ahead and make it happen. So thanks, Anthony. Thanks, X. Greatly appreciate you guys' responses. Please jump in, respond anytime. You can respond in the comments. You don't always have to make a video and hit it back to me. You don't always have to hit, well, Anthony, you're going to be on YouTube. I would highly recommend you make a video and send it back to me, because all that does is just build your index in YouTube and brings more attention to me and us. Speaking of which, you mentioned doing a response back and forth. I don't really want to do that, because I think as we get older, I think we are not growing apart, but having a harder time understanding each other. I think our wheelhouse is in storytelling. Like, I want to do something where we just go back and tell like army stories, like from the beginning, like these stories that we tell when we out partying with people, and we like occupy what we used to do. We occupy the table, and it's just me and you telling a story. Like, I want to do that, like, just digitally. So, although I did like the names you came up with for Third Thing in the Morning Out Loud, or Third Thought Out Loud, I did like those ideas. I like those names. Anyway, I got to run to work. If you like this video, go ahead and hit like. If you want to see more, hit subscribe, because I'm going to be doing Thoughts Out Loud more and more, and there's going to be more videos. I keep saying going to be, but this weekend we got more videos coming up. Probably 3 gaming videos, and the actual the tour of the studio, and blah blah blah. All that stuff's coming. So go ahead and subscribe, man. Leave a comment if you feel me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next Thoughts Out Loud. Have a good one.